Hello, Shantanu. Hello, Manan. Thank you for joining us here. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, I welcome you all to the class. Now, I would like to start this class with a question. So, Manan, Shantanu, hi. Okay, so have you ever been to a restaurant and have come out of the restaurant feeling happy and giving that restaurant a five-star rating? Has it happened? Manan, Shantanu. Even if you've not given a five-star rating, you've been really happy. Yes, it has happened to you. Glad to know that because it has happened to me as well. It could have been the decor, it could have been the service, and most importantly, the meal, which made you feel that the restaurant deserves a five-star rating. Hello, Inola. Thanks for joining in. So, the chef of the restaurant might have done a commendable job in getting the right ingredients and then getting all the ingredients together to dish out a lovely meal, which prompted you to give the restaurant a five-star rating. So, if you see what I'm trying to say is that it's not just the ingredients and it is not just the chef's skill that prompted you to give that rating. It was a combination of both. Am I correct? Hello, Bhanu. Hello, Bhuvi. Thank you for joining in. Yes, so Shantanu says yes. Okay, Bhakti, so many of you are joining. I'm so happy to see all of you. You've been coming regularly to this class. It's always a pleasure to meet you here. Okay, so I'm moving on with the class. So my next question is that have you sat for an exam and excelled in it? You've really got good marks. But why am I even asking this question? I'm sure you all have. Even I have when I was a student. I'm sure you all have. At some point, or maybe very often, you get very, very good marks in your exams. True? Manan, does that happen? Bhuvi, Nola, Bhanu, Shantanu? Yes, it has happened to everybody. Welcome, Pankaj. True? Yes? All right. So what helped you score high marks in your exam? If I'm correct, it's the knowledge of the subject, number one. Number two, you had the skill to apply that knowledge to write a powerful paper. So, again, just like the restaurant example, here, two things come into play. One is the knowledge of the subject. Second, the skill set to apply that knowledge to write or answer this question in a powerful manner. So, similarly, in storytelling, it's a combination of a good story and good storyteller that elevates the storytelling experience. When you come out of a storytelling session and you say, it was good storytelling, that's because you heard a good story from a good storyteller. What if the storyteller is not good, but the story is very good? Will you be engaged? Certainly not. You'll say, the story was good, but I didn't like the storyteller. Like how it happens in movies, sometimes the storyline of the movie is very good, but we don't like the way the actors and the actresses have acted in the movie, right? Similarly, Manan says, yes, I know your experience also. Okay, Manan, I think you're referring to my last personal story. Okay. I saw your storytelling on YouTube. They were lovely. Oh, thank you, Bhakti. All right. So, similarly, if the story is not good, okay, but the storyteller is wonderful, still it would not be called good storytelling because the audience will not feel connected to the story no matter how hard the storyteller is trying. So, a good storyteller needs to have a good story to make it or to give the audience a wonderful experience. What are the ingredients of a good story? Quickly, the character, settings, an engaging plot, tadka mirch masala in the form of conflicts or problems, and resolutions for every problem makes a story a good story. But what makes for a good storyteller? What makes a person a good storyteller? The person should have a powerful voice, should be able to articulate himself or herself in a good way, should be able to use and handle props when needed, should call for audience participation, be able to turn the passive listeners into active listeners, engage the audience in multiple ways, and be spontaneous. So we can say that these are the tools, okay, for anybody who wants to be a good storyteller. And amongst these, what do you think is the most critical, the most crucial tool? We spoke about voice, we spoke about gesture expression, props, audience participation, being spontaneous. But what do you think? Ma'am, I am always very shy. How to be a powerful storyteller? Priyanka, can you ask me this question at the end of the session? I would answer it. For now, my question is, what do you think out of these various tools, what is the most important one? Expression, say Shantanu. All right. Shantanu, thank you for the answer. Who else wants to answer this? Expressions are very, very important because non-verbal communication is really, it's something that turns a good storytelling into great storytelling. So non-verbal communication is really, really critical. You feel the story, audience participation. Manan says, okay, how many of you think, okay, I might be wrong, how many of you think that voice is one of the most powerful tools that every storyteller should have? Vyapti, okay. Anybody else who wants to join Vyapti? So let me tell you that voice is actually the most important tool for every storyteller. It's, the way you modulate your voice portrays your emotion. And that then generates a reactive emotion from the audience. And it is that reactive emotion that draws the audience into the story. Voice is the first thing that makes a story come alive. So, the storyteller's voice is the one that makes the story believable and engaging. All right. So, Vyapti, you have something to say because I don't have such powerful voice. That's why I know it. Vyapti, you will have a very powerful voice at the end of this series of masterclass that I'm going to run you through. Believe me, you will discover your storyteller voice. Okay, Jivika Kumari, welcome to this masterclass. So, as I was saying, voice is very critical. It's a storyteller's voice that makes a story believable and engaging. So, hello everybody. I'm Nupur Aggarwal, a storyteller, story coach, and a published author. I use a lot of sound effects and character voices in my storytelling. Just to give you a glimpse of the different sounds that I love to make, one is of a crow. Hear it me. I might crow like a rooster too. Sometimes I like to moo like a cow. Can I quack like a duck? I can try. Quack, 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 quack. Can I neigh like a horse? Let me try. Can I laugh like a witch? Can I giggle like silly children? Can I roar like a lion? So you see, this is what I enjoy doing, and I use a variety of voice in my storytelling. And over the years, I have been into storytelling, the many, many years that I have spent in this art form, I have learned to master my storyteller voice. And I am here to help you master your storyteller voice. Now, nobody can master their storyteller voice in just one class. So, we have planned a series of masterclasses just for you. All through January, every Wednesday at 5 p.m., we are going to run a masterclass on how to master your storyteller voice. And today, you are in the first class learning the first step towards mastering your storyteller voice. And as some of you said that you are shy, you do not have a good voice, so that is what I meant, that by the end of this series, which ends in January, I think 27 January, you would have moved a step closer towards mastering your storyteller voice. Some of you would have mastered, some of you have moved closer, some of you might just heighten your awareness, yeah, as to how voice is produced, the anatomy, the different kinds of voice, the kind of tone, pitch you should use while speaking. So you will gain a good insight into voice. All right, so shall we delve into the class now? Can I get some thumbs up from you all? Ma'am, if the story is emotional, we speak loudly. Shantanu, I can give you an answer, but the best way to find this answer is to keep attending this masterclass, because there will be a time when I'm going to talk about the volume of voice. If not, today I'm not talking about it, but certainly in the next class, second or third class, I'm going to talk about the different volumes of voice. So you would know. All right. Now, when you get emotional, it's a very good question that do you speak loudly? Maybe not. Maybe not. Because when you're too emotional, again, it depends on the emotion also. So if you are too emotional in the sense that you're very sad, no matter how, even if you try to speak loudly, words wouldn't come out. But if you feel that emotion of excitement, then of course you will speak loudly. So it depends on the emotion that you are going through. All right. Okay, so we're going to move into the masterclass, the first step towards mastering your storyteller voice. Okay. Now, did you know that human voice is the most perfect instrument of all? And the entire aim, the entire idea of this masterclass is to help you perfect that instrument. What are we going to learn in this entire series? We are going to learn the basic vocal anatomy, the basics of how voice is produced, the role of breath in speech, the different elements of voice, tone, speed, pitch, volume, and pause, and the different kind of voices that you can use in presentation and storytelling, the voice warm up, right? And how to take care of your voice. And what are we going to do today? In today's masterclass, we are going to learn the basic vocal anatomy. We are going to learn the basics of how voice is produced and also see the role of breath in speech. Now you'll be like, oh no, this sounds too technical. But believe me, I'm going to make it a lot of fun. We are going to, as I said, just going to touch the basic of everything. We are not going to delve deeper into the anatomy. We are not going to move deeper into the science of voice. We're not going to do that. But I want you to know the basic of the anatomy, how voice is produced, where does it come from, and does breath have any role in speech? Okay, so are we ready? Can you show me that you are ready to listen to me? And I love those thumbs ups and I love the way the numbers move. But sadly, the number is stuck at 1. Can I have some more? Ready? Manan is ready. Pyapti is ready. All right, see, the numbers are moving and that gets me going. Now, why, again, I would say that why are we going to do this today? Why are we going to learn about the anatomy and the science of voice and the breath? Why are we going to do that? Because voice is one of the most widely methods of communication, not just in animals, but also in human beings. Yeah, you see owls hooting, you see horses neighing, the goats bleating, the cows mooing, the dogs barking, the cats doing meow. And you see human beings, we are able to speak, we're able to laugh, we cry, we sing, we can make so many complex sounds. Why? Because we have the mechanism to do that. The different body parts, okay, our different body parts coordinate to help us make these complex sounds, right? And these body parts you are not able to see. But if you want to sing well, if you want to be a good speaker, if you want to tell a story well, having a knowledge of these 3 things on the screen that you see will help you improve your vocal technique and also improve your vocal health. See, you go and give a very powerful presentation. Everybody says, wow, she paused at the right space. Oh, I love the intonation. Oh, I love the speed. She was neither moving too fast, she was not moving too slow, she was not grasping for breath. It was so easy for her to talk for so long. How did she do that? How did you do that? You can only do it if you have a knowledge of all these three things. If with that knowledge, with the knowledge of these three things, you are able to improve your vocal technique and vocal health, the end result would be a powerful presentation, a powerful story delivery. Okay, so we are going to quickly run through the vocal anatomy. So, are you aware of this diaphragm? Have you heard of the word diaphragm? Yes? I'm sure. Yes, Shantanu Vyapti. Okay. Oh, so many of you. Yes. So it's a yes from so many of you. So diaphragm is basically a dome-shaped muscle. Okay. See, if you see this black one, it's a dome. It's a dome-shaped muscle that divides the torso. Torso is the upper part of the body. So divides the torso into two parts. One is the stomach and the other one is the chest cavity. All right. So that is where the diaphragm is. The lungs are already marked. The second, yes, Manan, thank you. It controls the contraction of our lungs. Yes, Manan, that's exactly what diaphragm does. Then comes the larynx. Okay, so larynx is a box-shaped area at the top of your windpipe. So if this is your windpipe, at the top of the windpipe, at the mouth of the windpipe, we have larynx. It's a box-shaped area, and because it's a box-shaped area, it is also called voice box. And because why is it called voice box? Because larynx has vocal cords in them. Okay, so what are vocal cords now? Vocal cords are basically bands of muscles, okay, that run across the length of the larynx. Okay, so I'll explain the rule. I'll just explain the anatomy, and then when we talk about how voice is produced, I'm going to exactly tell you what happens when you speak, how each of these part of the body comes into action. Okay, so now you can touch your larynx. So if you see on your throat, under your chin, okay, there is a small bump here. If you can put your finger on there, you can feel your larynx. So this is your larynx, your voice box, which houses the vocal cords. Then comes the pharynx. Pharynx, nothing but, yes, Bhakti, you can feel good. So pharynx is the throat. So the throat is called the pharynx. It is situated right above the larynx. So if you see the drawing, this is the larynx, and just above the larynx is the pharynx. And it's a pharynx that will determine the sound quality. What happens when you have a bad throat? Yeah, your voice becomes hoarse, huh? अब एकदम ऐसे से करके हम लोग बात करते हैं. It's no more melodious, it's no more sweet, right? Why? Because pharynx is not feeling well, and pharynx is responsible for controlling the quality of the sound. So we need to take care of it, and gargling really helps. So if you want to be a good speaker, if you want to be a good storyteller, you have to get into the habit of gargling, because it takes care of the pharynx. And when pharynx is taken care of, your sound quality will always be superior. Okay, now other than the diaphragm, the larynx and pharynx, we have the nasal cavity and oral cavity, and that completes the vocal passage. So this entire thing is the vocal passage. Any doubts about this? Is it very clear, the anatomy? I've explained it very simply. I've not gone into details. Yeah, Tushar, welcome to the class. Everything is clear? All right, then a quiz for you. Okay, now that everything is clear, I have a quiz for you. So tell me the first one. The voice box is called the larynx. Is it true or is it false? You can type in your answer. The voice box is called larynx. Is it true or is it false? I think it's false. Shantanu, are you sure it's true? True. Everybody is saying true. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Thank you so much. You're paying excellent attention. Okay. Second question. What is the technical term for throat? What is a technical term for throat? Pharynx. That was so quick. Manan. Vyapti, pharynx. Yes, be mindful of the spelling. Pharynx it is. Good job. The diaphragm divides the body into half. It divides the human body into half. Is it true or is it false? This is a tricky one. Please pay attention to the words that I have used in the question. Diaphragm divides the body into half. Is it true or is it false? Everybody is saying true, 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 true. True, 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 true. Vyapti, why do you think it's false? Can you quickly type in your answer? Vyapti says it's false while everybody's saying it's true. But I want to know from Vyapti, why does she think it's a false statement? I want to hear it from Vyapti. Quickly. It divides the torso only. Super. My dear learners, diaphragm doesn't divide the whole body. No, it just divides the torso. So that was a tricky one. But thank you, Vyapti. Good listening. Last one. Which part of the body shapes the speech into sound? I did not tell you this, but I just want you to guess. Which part of the body shapes the speech into sounds? Larynx, voice box, vocal cord. Vocal cord, is it? Which part of the body shapes the speech into sounds? You are right. You're right. See, vocal. So the vocal cords, are inside the larynx. Okay. So just now, after this, I'm going to talk about how voice is produced. So you will get a clarity as to whether it is the larynx or the vocal cord that it houses. Okay, that makes a sound. All right. Now, how is voice produced? So what happens is that when you inhale air, the rib cage, they move outwards. They get stretched. All right. And the lungs get filled with air and the diaphragm gets pushed down. It descends. Right? Now, when you exhale air, the air from the diaphragm and the lung passes through the voice box, which is the larynx. And this voice box then vibrates, creating sound. And it is this vocal cords, the band of muscles inside the larynx. Larynx is the voice box. So it is the vocal cords that is inside the larynx that starts vibrating, creating the sound. And then that sound is shaped into speech by the articulator. By articulator, I mean your oral cavity and nasal cavity. Your mouth, hair, hard palate, soft palate, your teeth, your tongue. These then shape those sounds into words. And what comes out is speech. All right. So, did you understand what I tried to tell you? It's very simple. You inhale. When you inhale, the rib cage gets stretched, moves outwards, the lung gets expanded, the diaphragm descends. And when you exhale, the diaphragm and the rib cage come back in the relaxed position, the lungs get constricted and the air gushes out. And as the air is gushing out, as the breath goes out, it creates a vibration in the vocal cord that makes a sound. And when this sound reaches the oral cavity, the nasal cavity, it helps to shape that sound into speech. Ma'am, but when we breathe, always it creates a sound? No, okay, Vyapti, see, you can create a sound. So if you want to do this, see, you inhaling. Now, when you exhale, only if you want to. Okay, it could be a very soft exhale. Are we doing this all the time because we are inhaling, exhaling all day? But we do not do that. We are not always exhaling like it will be super odd. But this is a voice mechanism. How voice is created. When you want to speak, you want to make a sound, then how do you do that on exhale? Okay, all right. Now, very interesting thing I'm going to ask you after next. Is voice produced? If you have understood the anatomy, if you have understood about how voice is produced, then you will be able to answer this question. Is voice produced on inhalation or is voice produced on exhalation? B. Okay, Vyapti says it's B. And how many of you think, oh, Shantanu is already there with his answer? B, B, B. Everybody's saying B. You all are just so super. You understand things so well. It is on exhalation that sound, speech is produced. Try to speak when you inhale. It cannot happen. The anatomy is such. Okay. Now, if you say that the voice is produced on exhalation, then my next question is, does the breath have a role to play in speech? Yes, Shantanu? Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. Yes, the breath has a role to play in speech. Okay. Yes, you're right. Breath does have a significant, a very critical role to play in speech. Speech and breath are intimately related. Okay, so if you if you're able to control your breath, you can have a good vocal control. And if you're not able to control your breath, you cannot have variety in your voice. Okay, to control your breath, you cannot uh, in your speech. Like you cannot have intonation, you cannot alter the speed of telling, you cannot pause at the right moment, you cannot use varied voices in storytelling. It's only when you are able to control your breath can be important. Okay, so a quick recap as to what we have done. Number one, we have understood the anatomy of voice. Okay, second, of the vocal system. Second, we have understood how voice is produced. And now we are moving to a very, very important area as to how speech and breath are related. Okay, so when I say that breath control is very important if you want to have a good vocal control, so the first thing that you need to know is how to breathe. So, how many of you think that you breathe perfectly? You breathe correctly? We all are breathing, right? That is why we all are alive. But how many of you are very confident of the right breathing technique? Exactly, Manan. If you don't breathe, you can't speak. Voice is breaking. Is it so for everyone? Can some of you please help me understand if my voice is breaking? Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. Let me check once my. But the video is very poor. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Sometimes my voice is breaking. You know what? I think the internet is not running well today. I'm so sorry, but are you able to largely get the message? Okay, Vyapti says now it's clear. So let's quickly move on because I want it to be clear as I speak. Okay, so I was asking you, how many of you think that your breathing technique is right? How many of you think your breathing technique is right? How many of you think so? Your breathing technique. Are you able to hear me? Are you all there? Are you there? Okay, there's a lag. Okay, there is a lag, you say. Actually, there is some problem, I'm sure. Today, 1 second, please. I'll just check. Yeah. See, is it clearer now? Is it clearer? Because we were doing just fine. It just happened. Okay, Bhakti says it's clear. Shantanu, thank you so much. So, can you answer my question? How many of you think that you have the right breathing technique? How many of you think you have the right breathing technique? Shantanu says, no, my breathing technique is not correct. I think my technique is wrong, says Manan. Why do you think so? I have not at all mentioned what is the right or the wrong way of breathing. How are you confident your technique not being right? I breathe, but right breathing technique. Okay, so there is some confusion that I sense. So let me get that. Uh, you know, let me help you get your breathing correct. So what I want you to do is just breathe, okay, quietly. Just inhale slowly and then exhale. Okay, let's all do that. At the count of three, we will take 3 inhales and 3 exhales. Okay, and then we will start talking again. So let's start. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so tell me, when you were inhaling, was your stomach going out or was it coming in? Very simple question. Okay, if you have not noticed it, you can quickly inhale and exhale and try to see what is happening. Okay, Bhakti, for you, when you were inhaling, your stomach was moving inside. For Manan, out, Shantanu, out. Anybody else who would want to share? How was it? Okay, Shantanu, Manan, your breathing technique is right. So when you inhale, it's actually, if you're inhaling deep, which we call if when you when you breathe deep, that is diaphragmatic breathing, then your stomach moves out. Okay, and when you exhale, it should move in. And if you are still confused, you can lie flat on the floor, keep a book on your stomach, and see the book rise on inhale and the book coming back on exhale. Okay, if you can get this right, you can have a much stronger voice. And I'm going to explain that right now. So we have done this already. We have figured out what is the correct way of breathing. Okay, now you can find out the correct way of breathing while standing or in a sitting position. Okay, and if there is still some confusion about the stomach movement, upper abdomen movement, you can place your hand, okay, and you can feel the movement and understand for yourself whether you're breathing right or not. Okay, so when you inhale deep, okay, you will involve the diaphragm. When your breathing is shallow, you will not involve the diaphragm but just the lungs, and that's what gives you a very hollow voice. That voice will not be able to impress anybody. Yeah, we speak on exhale. So breath and speech are intimately related. So if you breathe in deep, the voice that comes out will be richer. If you breathe in shallow, the voice that comes out will be hollow. Okay, we are going to do some exercises right now to understand this better. Okay, so you have to use your breath to support your speech. That is very, very critical. You have to, so talk from diaphragm, right? Vyapti, you don't have to talk from diaphragm. It is, I'll just explain this. For the next 10-15 minutes, we are just going to talk about how do you talk, when do you talk, okay, how do you use your breath when you talk. So it's all about that, and I'm sure, Vyapti, your question will be answered soon. Now, when I say that use your breath to support your speech, speak on exhale. Okay, so by that I mean, I'll explain you through a burger. Now, this is a burger that you all can see. Now, imagine that the aloo tikki is your speech, and the bun below, okay, is your breath. So like how the bun is supporting the aloo tikki, your breath has to support your speech. Okay, what will happen if the bun is small and the tikki is big? By that I mean, what will happen if your breath is short and you have a long sentence to speak? You see in this picture, if the bun is short, small, and the tikki is long, the tikki flops on either side. Just that, like that, if you have a very short breath, that is, if you have not involved your diaphragm, if your breathing has been shallow and you try to speak, your voice becomes creaky, croaky, and it becomes a very imperfect voice, right? Sometimes it's called slurriness of speech. Sometimes when you know you are not able to speak, you fall short of breath. I will You're not able to speak, you're trying to speak because there is no underlying breath at all to support your speech. So maintain a constant stream of breath. The stream, hello Deepika. So maintain a constant stream of exhale which will support the words that you are speaking. Okay. So, once you have taken a full breath, use that breath when it comes out, okay, to support your words. Let it out in a steady stream. Okay. Don't try to speak on inhale. And don't try to speak too many words in one breath. If you are capable of doing it, good. For example, if I ask you to speak 10 sentences, some of you might have such deep inhalation. The deeper the inhalation, the deeper the exhalation. So if you have taken in really a deep breath, then of course you can speak more words than those who could not take a deep breath in. Then it is okay to break the sentence and then take a brief pause, inhale, and then speak. Rather than doing something like this, I would say. So in a faraway land, there lived a boy whose name was Raju. Raju was very, very serious in his studies, and one day his exams were approaching, but Raju did not study, and his mother was very tense. And then the mother scolded, and then so now what is happening? Because I had not taken a deep breath in. So now I'm trying to speak too many words at a time. And then what is happening is that as I am talking, there's no breath to support. There's no underlying breath to support. So my speech has become slurred. My speech has become creaky, croaky, and just like this picture, it's become floppy. Yeah. So if I want to speak properly, if I want in my mind to speak everything in one go without taking a pause, I have to ensure that my inhalation is deep. So now it is time for us to not talk and just practice what I have shared. Okay, so number one thing we have to start practicing is the breathing. So we will practice breathing and then we will practice speaking with breath. So when I say practice breathing, you'll say, oh, we know already. Yes, we know, but we have to get into the habit of breathing the right way. We have to learn the technique of right breathing. You can't always remind yourself. It's such involuntary thing to do, right? You can't always remind yourself that stomach out, stomach in, stomach out, stomach in. It's not possible. But can we train our minds to breathe in the right way? Can we train our minds to breathe in the right technique? Yes, we can. Okay, so let's start the practice. I want all of you to inhale. Okay, at the count of 3. Hang on, not right away. I want you to inhale at the count of 3, count of 5, and then exhale at 5. So you will count in your mind. 1, I'm speaking aloud, but it's going to be in your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then when you exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we are done 3 times, give me a thumbs up, and we start at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And as you're doing so, please pay attention to the movement of your stomach, whether the breathing is happening the right way. And if you're not too confident on the upper abdomen, you can place your hand. Okay, you can stand and do it, you can sit and do it, and if you really struggling, then you can lie down on the floor, keep a book on your stomach, and then see the movement of the book. If the book is moving up on inhalation, you're going good. Okay, and when you are done, you can send me a thumbs up so that I know that we are ready to move. Done, Enola? All right. Some of you are done. Okay. Okay, done. All right. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to do the inhale and exhale, but this time we are going to count aloud. So it is, okay, inhale, we're going to see, inhale, you can't count aloud because you can only speak on exhale. So inhale, you do it at the count of, till the count of 5 in your mind, and when you exhale, I want you to say aloud say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, because remember what I said, that let your when you have taken a full breath, then let the outgoing breath, let the exhale support your words. Okay, so we are going to now be mindful of that we speak on exhale and our breath supports what we speak. Okay, so at the count of 3 we start. Do it 3 times. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, count 5 in your mind. Exhale, count aloud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go on, repeat. All right, I think you all are done. Is there any confusion? Is there any confusion? Please do not hesitate to ask me. That's an advantage of a live class, that you can get all your doubts cleared. All right. If you have anything to ask, do send me your questions and I'll move on. So we have inhaled and now we've exhaled. Now we are going to inhale, and on exhale, we are going to use our breath to support these words. The words are, my name is, say, Shantanu. So we inhale. Okay, you do not need to count. Just take a deep breath in. Okay, and exhale by, for example, watch me. My name is Nupur. So I have spoken on exhale. It might happen that you have spoken your name out aloud, but still you have some amount of breath left. That is fine. Okay, but it should not happen that the breath gets over and you still have something to say. That should not happen. Okay, so at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go on. Inhaling with nose only. Yes. Inhaling, Vyapti, is with nose only. Okay. Okay, Vyapti, you're done. All right. We are going to make it more and more complex now, because the last part of this masterclass is all about exercises and practice. So whatever we have thought, whatever we have discussed, whatever we have learned, we are going to put that into practice for the next 10 minutes. Take your time. Done? Good. If you've not done it, please take your time. Let's do this well, because it's going to get a little complex from now on. See how you're involving your diaphragm. Okay, diaphragmatic breathing is what we are practicing. I see some of you, or the most of you, done. So we'll move on now. And the next exercise is you are going to inhale deep. Okay, I'm repeating this, I'm sorry, but I have to repeat this. Deep is the key. You have to inhale deep, and on exhale I want you to speak aloud this sentence: Martin was born in London. Okay, just one time. If you think you've not done it well, if you fell short of breath, you can do it again. All right, but if you inhaled correctly, then you wouldn't go wrong. All right, so 1, 2, 3. All right, that was good and quick. Martin was born in London. All right, now I'm going to make it a little more complex. I am going to add another sentence to it. Okay, Martin was born in London. At the age of 5, he moved to US. Now listen, today I'm not teaching you the technique of pausing. Okay, you can actually break two sentences by taking a short pause. Martin was born in London. At the age of 5, he moved to USA. So what happens when you take a pause in between two sentences? You inhale more. But my idea is not to let you inhale. I want you to inhale once, and then with that one exhale, speak both the sentences. So don't worry about the full stop. Don't pay attention to it. Just think of speaking these words together. Did you get that? Instructions are clear? Yes? All right. So again, at the count of 3, we are going to take a deep inhalation and exhale and speak both the sentences at one go. Okay? At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Try it out one more time. No problem at all. We're not in a rush. Just try to get that right. When done, let me know. Done? All right. Did you face any challenge, any difficulty? Did you fall short of breath while speaking both the sentences? No, Manan. No, Vyapti. All right, wonderful. No, ma'am. All right, Shantanu. Okay, great. Others? Inola, are you still there? All right. So we're going to move on. Shall I make it more complex? Are you ready for the challenge? Shall we make it more complex? Yes? Is it fun? All right. Okay. So the rules stay the same. Deep inhalation, diaphragmatic breathing is what we are practicing. And forget the full stops. Try to start at Martin, end at school in just a single breath. All right. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Done. Okay, that was quick. I'm so happy to see all of you being so engaged in the class. Good job and good listening. Others, please let me know when you're done. Okay, Manan. All right, ma'am, I have some difficulty. Okay, Shantanu. So good. Good that you face some difficulty. That means that there is a scope of improvement. Okay, you need to practice harder. So next time, Shantanu, when you are you just try and make your inhalation deeper. Okay, it comes with practice. I'm telling you, there is nothing but practice that can make you excel. Okay, and it's not that you have to go and give a presentation or tell a story by not stopping in one exhalation. I'm just making you practice so that you find depth in your voice. Okay, now one more sentence I'm going to add. See if you can do it. But it's absolutely fine if you can't do it, because when I started, you are all so young and doing it so well. When I started my storytelling journey, even I couldn't do it. And I was much, much older than you all are. You're doing very well. Okay, yes, Vyapti, these are exercises. These are exercises. At the end of this session, I'll just tell you a little more about the kind of exercises that you can do, to uh, sync in your breath and the voice, how you can improve your voice quality. I'll give you some more tips. Okay, so again, the rules remain the same, but this is, believe me, the last one. And again, inhale deep and see if you can reach the last word in one exhale. All right, so 1, 2, 3, go. Done. All right. Any challenges, Bhakti? Was it very easy for you? Did at any point did you feel that it was breaking? Easy? Okay, done, Manan. All right. Okay. Breaking, Shantanu? That's all right, Shantanu. Believe me, it's absolutely normal. It's absolutely normal. Okay, and I love that you're being so honest and letting me know that there is a problem. And we are, the whole idea of these master classes, that you all come, share your problems so that we can help you with the solution. Okay, so we are going to move on. So, some of you face challenges, and for those who could speak these sentences at one go, if I add another sentence, you might find it difficult, right? So you have to get rid of your shallow breathing. And how would you do that? You have to sit or stand comfortably. You have to count silently in your mind to 4, and as you inhale, and then till 4 as you exhale. Do that couple of times. Continue for several rounds of breathing, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6, whatever your time allows. And then increase the count to 5, increase the count to 6, and then 7, then 8, till the time you reach 15 or beyond. Okay, so Shantanu, if it's breaking for you, you may find, for say till about 8 or 10, you might be able to exhale and speak out very easily. After 10, it might get a little challenging. But Shantanu, if you keep on practicing, others too, you can really have a very good voice control. It's a very simple exercise, believe me. So wherever you are, whenever you get time, even when you're in the washroom or you are, just watching TV, it's very simple. Sometimes we are just sitting idle, not knowing what to do. So try to remind yourself that you have to get the technique of deep breathing right. Okay, so what all did we learn today? I would like to take you through a quick recap. um, so the today's masterclass was about understanding the vocal anatomy, how voice is produced, and the role of breath in speech. Okay, so we spoke about diaphragm, we looked into larynx and pharynx, and oral and nasal cavity. So these are the 5 things that comprises of the vocal system. And then we also spoke about how the voice is produced when the diaphragm expands and relaxes, no sorry descends and relaxes, and then pushes the voice through the vocal cords, which vibrates, produces a sound. That sounds get converted into speech with the help of articulators. All right, we also clearly understood that voice is produced on exhalation. You can't inhale and speak. The anatomy is such that you can only talk on exhale. And we clearly understood how speech and breath are intimately related. Okay, always picture that burger that I spoke about. The tikki is are the words, and the bun beneath the tikki, under the tikki, is your breath. Okay, one supports a ticky, your breath has to support your voice. And so maintain, when you exhale and you speak, maintain a steady stream of breath which will support your voice. Okay, we did some exercises on the correct ways of breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing we saw how do you breathe by involving just the lungs, and how does that produce a very hollow, unimpressionable voice. Okay, so any doubts you have, any questions you have, we have done so many exercises where we've inhaled, exhaled continuously. We have understood what is the right technique of inhalation and how do we speak on exhalation. Okay, should I give my question? Yes, Vyapti, please give me your questions now. Give me your questions. I would love to answer them. Yeah, so these are some of the exercises. This is one exercise that I feel will help you get rid of your shallow breathing, yeah, and give you a very deep and a richer voice. Okay, okay, Vyapti, what was your question? Please ask. Can you please ask me again? What was your question, Vyapti? All right. Till you pose that question, I'll just move on. So you are right now at the creative corner where you get to learn Vedic maths, robotics, coding, chess, financial literacy, negotiation skills. You get to doodle as well in the artist corner, learn magical tricks, learn to sing like a pro in the entertainer's corner. There's an orator's corner where you pick up strategies for effective communication, debating, and public speaking. And of course, right now you are in the lover's corner with me, learning the nuances of storytelling, and also there is somebody teaching you all about poetry. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go over to Vyapti's question. I'm very camera shy, so how do I become a powerful storyteller or cope with it? So Vyapti, we are starting a new course on how to tell a story like a pro on Saturday. It's a 13-hour course starting this Saturday. It's going to happen every Saturday at 11 a.m. and it's going to cover everything about storytelling. Okay, there will be a lot of assignments, Vyapti, and if you are able to do the assignments, you will overcome your shyness, all right, and you will emerge as a powerful storyteller. Believe me, I'll help you achieve that. The course starts on Saturday. It is a step by step process. It does take some time to turn yourself into a powerful storyteller, and that's what I'm going to teach you in the course, the tips and techniques of powerful storytelling. All right, Vyapti, happy? Okay, so we move on. So if you refer your friends, and they take a Creative Corner subscription, they can apply my code and get a 10% discount, which is NUPAL 10. All right, if you see, they're very well priced. You are getting a huge discount if you take a 6-month or beyond subscription. Okay, now if you join the official Creative Corner Telegram group, you can ask questions about Creative Corner, about the classes that are going on, about the timings, the fee. You can get constant updates from the team because we on Unacademy there's a carnival happening every month. There's so much to learn. So if you want to know about a particular class, about a particular facilitator, do join the Telegram group. You can even give feedback for these classes and suggest changes. They're going to welcome this. You can even give feedback about this class where you are in right now. Okay, so this is the link and I'm going to pin the link for all of you. Do join the Telegram group of Creative Corner. And now some homework fun assignment. Now what happens is, I want you to make a video explaining the voice anatomy. Okay, you've learned about voice anatomy. I have explained it in a very, very simple language. I want you to just replicate that. I want you to stand in front of the camera with a nice clear background and with a without, in a room where your voice doesn't echo, where there's no outside noise or distractions, and very clearly explain what have you understood about voice anatomy and what have you understood about the correct breathing technique. Okay, and when you submit these video assignments, you have a chance of getting featured on Creative Corner's YouTube channel. Okay, now you are going to ask me about the link for submission. So here it is for you. I'm going to pin this one as well. So I have pinned the submission form link. Okay, so this is a link where you can submit your video assignment explaining the voice anatomy and talk about the correct breathing technique. Okay, see how it looks like. You can actually check out the YouTube channel. It has been started by the Creative Corner Unacademy, and you can subscribe to this channel. And if you submit your assignment on time, you have a chance to get featured as the star creator on the channel. You see, so many learners just like you have got featured already on the YouTube channel. All right, so I am going to see you on next Wednesday, another masterclass. Today was the first step towards mastering your storyteller voice. Next week, I'm going to take you a step up, level 2. But if you wish to see me again and learn more about storytelling, you're most welcome to join the class on Saturday. We are going to start a new course, Tell a Story Like a Pro. So do not miss the first class, Saturday, 11 a.m., and continue learning about mastering your voice in the masterclass. See you either on Saturday and or on Wednesday, next Wednesday. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Can I hear a bye too? Because I'm not sure if you're there or not still. All right, Manan. Okay, and one more thing. You know what? This class was a part of January Carnival, and you have this carnival running all through January.